Welcome back, everybody. This is Caden Niemoff with Briones Pickleball. Today I'm here with our host, Jordan Briones. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Caden, that was a pretty good intro.
Thank you. You know, I thought we'd switch it up today. It's a pretty ugly Tuesday morning, but here we are.
Yeah, and as in ugly, we're talking about Arizona ugly because it's cloudy today.
Well, it's raining. Like yesterday it was 80 degrees and sunny, and now it's raining. Like that's what I said last week. I just don't know what to expect out here. I thought it was going to be another beautiful day, and here I am, just kind of sad.
Yeah, you know what? We can't get it all, but we're pretty spoiled out here, I would say.
Can be sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so in this show, we have a good amount of information to share with you. We're going to be going over our weekly strategy tip, and we're going to be talking about some training opportunities that you may have or may be interested in to train with me. And we are going to be talking about the PPA big upset alerts. There's huge ones to talk about. There may be a change in the tide for tournaments and for pro pickleball. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about DUPR ratings versus club ratings or your local club ratings. A lot of players I asked, they don't know what rating they are. So we have some thoughts about that.
Yeah.
First time tournament tips. If you are planning to play a tournament and you want some very valuable tips from two players that have played lots of tournaments, we have some information for you. And we are going to be talking about some of the pro players' antics out there on the court. It gets pretty chippy and pretty dicey. We're seeing more and more. Is that good for the game? Is that not good for the game? We're going to talk about that. And yeah, that is what I have going on. Just real quick for housekeeping, if you are listening to this podcast on YouTube and you're not subscribed, please do that. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. And if it's anything under 5, you can also leave us a review, but we don't encourage that.
Yeah, be nice, huh?
Yeah, be nice. Be nice. This is only our, this is episode 004. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Strategy tips. My weekly tip, Caden. Last week I talked about split stepping in the transition. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Was that last week?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yep. This goes hand in hand.
Okay.
And not too crazy today. This is one that we see a lot, even at higher levels, I would say, even at 4.0, 4.5 level.
Yeah.
Attacking from the transition zone, deep transition zone.
Oh, how deep?
I mean, anywhere in the middle of that transition. Well, okay, let me rephrase this. This is a strategy tip of what not to do, but attacking from the transition zone on balls that are below knee level. Okay, this is something you don't want to do, especially as you get into higher levels. What are your thoughts on that, Caden?
So believe it or not, I actually like to make some of my money off of attacking in the transition zone. But that being said, after how you rephrase that, I am never actually attacking anything below my knees. If it's at my knees, I will definitely consider it.
Okay.
But if it's below the knees, and let's remember, I'm not the tallest guy. So if it's below my knees and I'm not attacking that, you guys probably shouldn't be attacking that either. But I will say every now and then, if you can actually hit a good ball with topspin from down low, it's not a terrible play. It's not a terrible play, but you have to be kind of hitting a good drop or a good drive and crashing on it and seeing if you can get something where you are fully committed into attacking that ball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, really good thoughts there, Caden. I think as you raise in level, once you get to that 4-5, and then even at the 5-0 level, we have the technique to roll balls from lower positions.
Correct.
We have the accuracy. Again, if you're attacking in transition, we need to either get it to the wings out here, or we need to get it somewhere down.
Right.
If we are attacking from transition and it goes chest high, we're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's you can't just swing for the fences if you're in the transition zone, right? So if you are going to be attacking, you have to have proper technique in rolling your shots with topspin. Otherwise, I probably would say just go for the reset.
Yeah, so reset in transition. Again, two things I can think about. The lower the ball is, the more you should think about attacking.
Right.
And then the number two, second thing that's very, very important. How good is the hands of the person at the net? That's
True.
a huge factor.
True. Apply pressure.
Yeah. Now we see at all different levels, you can call them bangers, whatever you want. When you first come into the game, I think even 3-0, 3-5, 4-0, you have these tennis players coming in and they get away with that because their attacks are fairly good.
Right.
And their hands at that level may not be as crisp. So I'm saying the higher you move up, we got to be very, very strategic and very a lot more pickier on our attacks.
Well, especially if you're going to attack from lower, and if you don't hit a perfect ball, you're giving someone a ball that's lifting up, right? So you're giving them the opportunity to hit down on the ball, right? So, even when people ask me like, oh, well, like, who's at the advantage, who's at the disadvantage when someone's speeding up? The person who sped up is at the disadvantage, right? Because if you're speeding up from down low, if your opponent's ready for that, they're going to have a put away pretty much. You know what I mean? Now, of course, if you can disguise it well, different story, right? But even if you're playing against someone who does have good hands and you're going to try that, the end result will probably not be as good as you want it to be.
Yeah, so obviously learning how to reset, how to hit a volley reset or half volley reset from transition is very, very important. It drops that ball into the non-volley zone. That's definitely the preferred play for a lot of the times. Those of you who don't know how to do that, we have a lot of videos on that on this channel, so check that out. But again, at higher levels, we definitely see attacking from the transition. Again, like what we said, the height of the ball and also the hands of the players at the net are a really big factor. So keep that in mind. And Caden is going to give us his weekly pickleball tip.
My pickleball weekly tip is actually a mental tip.
Ooh,
right.
That's a curveball.
So I get asked a lot, Caden, I'm scared of when the people hit hard at me. How do I get ready for that ball? All right. Now, yes, a good ready position is always a good thing to be in, but to prepare yourself for the pace and for the speed, you have to expect the pace and the speed. So what I'm trying to say to you guys now is let's put it this way. I created this quote. People may have stolen it from me if they have said it before, but who knows? Maybe you haven't heard it before. But I like to say to my students, expect fast, react slow.
Oh, so I haven't heard that one actually.
No?
Okay, so break that down for us then.
Yeah, it's not going to be as simple as da-da-da-da-da, I'm loving it. No. I made this one up, guys, I promise. But what that means is when you're on the court, you should be expecting that every ball is coming fast at you. And when it doesn't, then you can react to the slow ball and take your time for that ball. What usually happens on the court is, especially when someone does hit a slow ball or you guys get into a dink rally, you kind of just expect the dink, right?
Yes.
If you are expecting the dink, you are dooming yourself. And I mean that because by the time you guys get to the 4.0 level, people know how to disguise shots. And if they're disguising shots and you don't know what's coming and you're not ready for it physically and mentally, trouble.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Trouble.
No. Really great tip. I tell this to all the players that I work with, especially when we're up at the non-volley zone line. This game with technology and the way it's going is getting more and more offensive which is great, but that also means we need to work on our counters and our defense. Yeah, anytime, no matter what, even if the ball looks low or not attackable, we definitely need to be ready for those balls first. And yeah, really, really good tip, Caden. I just say it very simply, like just be ready for the speed up at all times. And if they dink it, we can easily handle that.
Yep.
So
I like my little quotes.
Yeah.
And also, if any of you guys have ever heard that before, I coined it. Okay, that's my word, my quote.
Caden's the inventor. Don't take it away from him. All right. Yeah. So that. Anything else on that?
No.
All right.
Quick and easy.
Okay, quick and easy strategy tip. So make sure that you are doing both those things so that you can excel on the court. Yeah, really quick. If you like our content on here on this channel and you're liking our podcast, what we have to say, this year we are still planning out some 2-day intensive trainings with me. Some are actually going to be here in Arizona and some are actually going to be in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So if you would like more info on that, go check in the description, or you can go to brionespickleball.com/coaching. I would love to work with you. It's an experience that you won't get with any other camp or clinic with a pro. You'll see what I'm talking about. Go in the description and click on that link. And yeah, I'd love to work with you this year.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So let's hop right in to the PPA Grand Slam.
Carvana PPA Arizona Grand Slam. That's what it was.
It's a tongue twister, but we're going to hop into the latest PPA results. And I got to say, wrong button. I gotta say, there is some upsets. Upset alert. I gotta work on the button pressing there. But huge upset alerts. We're gonna break them down. Now, we did a podcast a couple ones ago talking about the era of the Triple Crown, and that may have we may have spoke too soon.
I think we jinxed it, honestly.
Or that.
It's one of those moments where like a guy's got a 10-yard field goal in front of him and we're like, well, he hasn't missed one of these in 6 years, and then he misses it.
Yeah. So if you have not heard the news, there were big upsets here. One of them being mixed doubles pro, Annalie Waters and Ben Johns. I'm pretty sure they won every single title last year. Am I correct on that? They didn't lose. I know that. So
that sounds correct.
So,
they didn't lose together.
They did not lose together. They have been a dominant duo, and I think they still are. But Georgia Johnson,
JJ,
and your little brother, older brother,
well, little brother and little sister, yes,
little sister,
yes.
JW Johnson, the
dynamic duo
from South Florida, I believe.
Yeah.
Or Florida, somewhere in there. They took them down at this tournament. What did you see? Did you see anything of that match?
I honestly, towards the end, I would say in a match, you kind of know when someone's tight and when someone's feeling themselves.
Oh, okay.
Right? I would say in a match, 9 times out of 10, when you see Ben tied up with someone in like a 2 out of 3, whether it's a second or third game, if it's tied up, most of the time, Ben is that guy who shows up and like, that like he's going to pull it out. Even when it's like he's playing someone, he's down 10-11, on 11-10 on the other person's paddle, you're thinking like, yeah, if Ben gets this side out, he's winning this game.
Yeah, well, it's actually crazy. He usually does, like 80, 90% of the time.
Right. Yeah. And I would say this weekend, I think that was going through pretty much everyone's head in that match. Because in the third game, I mean, it was neck and neck, right?
Yeah.
Georgia Johnson showed up.
Yes, let's talk about Georgia real quick. If you don't know who that is, just look at some matches. She's playing with her brother probably all year round. Now, JW, her brother, we have seen him at the highest level on this pro pickleball scene for years now. I remember the first time I really got to see him, and the level that he can play is when he played the U.S. Open finals.
Yeah.
Versus Ben Johns. Honestly, that's probably one of my favorite singles matches to break down. Maybe we'll do that in a future episode. But that's when I first saw him. Obviously, he's a beast.
Yeah.
He's been around for a while. One of the lowest hanging paddle positions.
Yeah.
On the tour.
Yeah, very, very frustrating for me as an instructor because everyone likes to look at JW and be like, oh, well, JW does it like that. And I'm like, are you JW Johnson, Mary?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so
I don't think so. Get those hands up.
Yeah, so JW, his paddle position is fair. I would say sometimes knee level, around that thigh level.
Yeah, at his thigh, at his waist.
But his hands are so fast. We're going to actually maybe talk about that in a different episode.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so again, Georgia Johnson came out the gates. I just saw her super confident.
Yep.
Hitting resets like a reset machine.
Yep.
Her hands were great.
Yep.
And she was dinking with Anna Lee.
Yeah.
One-on-one. And she was hanging in there. Obviously, when we get mixed, there's a lot of cross-court dinks, but I think she was doing a good job mixing it up.
Well, she was the number one player on the APP tour last year. I mean, she's not just your normal person. I mean, she's a really good women's player.
Yeah, and I think because of that, right? Because she was on the APP, we didn't see her on the PP. Right. I think a lot, like including myself, not writing her off, but I didn't see enough of her. I just didn't. I watched more PPAs.
For sure.
And I think a lot of people may be in that same boat. But after the match, after the upset, I mean, one of the first things that I thought about was like, you know what? This makes a lot of sense if you are JW's drilling partner.
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
If I was JW's drilling partner, dude, I'd be playing mixed with him, too.
Yeah. Put on a skirt there. Put on a skirt.
Maybe I'll make him put on the skirt since he's my little brother. But, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's true, right? I mean, drilling with guys like that really does have its benefits, right? Like when I get to drill with Riley out here, God, I probably burn more calories in like that 2 to 3 hours of drilling than I do like the whole week.
Mm-hmm. I remember last time.
Of just teaching, you get a sweat in.
Yeah. And talking about hand speed, honestly, we'll I think in a future podcast, we'll probably break down different techniques, different hand positions and volleys and stuff like that. But JW is definitely he's got to be one of the top volleyers, counter attackers, counter punchers out there.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard to attack him, and he's always ready. So if you're practicing with that on a daily basis, gosh, Georgia, that's what happens.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like you said, JW's like ready position. You think you can catch him sleeping. Yeah. It's hard to. He's ready for it.
So going back to your tip about always be ready for the fastball.
That's JW Johnson right there.
JW Johnson right there.
JW Johnson lives for the fastball. He lives for it.
Yeah. So what other upsets did we see, Caden?
We also saw Federico Staxrud take down Ben Johns in the quarterfinals to go to the gold medal match, where he played Jay DeVilliers. And personally, I think we've seen Federico do pretty well in these last three PPAs. Last two PPAs.
So the last two PPAs, Federico got silver.
Right.
And I think one of them's been close with Ben, but he's there.
Yeah. No, I think for me, I always knew it. I mean, geez, I've played him one time, and I'm gonna be honest. The first game that I played,
you played him singles.
Singles, yeah.
PPA,
yeah, or APP. It was an APP.
APP.
It was last year in November.
Okay.
But like the first game, just the difference in ball between his ball and the guy that I had just played was like completely different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So it took me a whole game just to like realize what I was going up against. All right. I'm pretty sure I lost the first game like 11-1.
Yeah.
Now, I got comfortable, and I ended up losing the second game 11-9, and we were like tied 9-9 at one point, and I was like, oh, I'm going to take a game off of Federico, and then I'm going to win this third game, and of
Then
course.
he was like, I'll turn it on now, huh?
And he was like, oh, yeah, hold on, let me just hit a passing shot on command
Yeah.
twice. And
Yeah, so Federico, again, versus Ben Johns, and this was right before... Oh, no, this is the semis.
yeah.
And we can see the score here, 12-10, 4-11, 12-10. So actually, super tight.
Yep.
It could have went either way.
Yeah, no question.
I honestly think Stackrude was just on fire. And just a quick note for those of you that can't see the screen here, we're working on it. Okay, just give us some time. We're gonna figure out how the best way to show you on the screen here. I know it's not the best view, but let's talk about really quick when you don't make it to the semis. So when there's in doubles or singles, when there's 4 teams or 4 players left, now with the new PPA rules, let's say, so it's a final 4, and the losers in the semis will play each other for bronze.
Yep.
And then the winners of the semis obviously play each other for gold. So there is a backdraw, but when you lose before the semis, you can only, at best, get 5th place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just like, how does that change the dynamic? And what are your thoughts on that, Gaden?
It's kind of terrible. And
In what way?
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I personally think that for these signed PPA players, if they happen to not have a good tournament and they lose in the first or second round, which we've seen, because guess what? Pickleball talent these days is really good.
It's on the rise.
Yep. If you don't get the opportunity to at least try for bronze, what these PPA players are doing is they're just saying, well, shoot, man, I played today, so I'm going to get my check, but I got nothing else to play for, so
Yeah.
F it. And they drop out, and they withdraw from the tournament. So it doesn't affect their rating. It doesn't do anything. It just takes them out of the tournament, and they get to go and enjoy their day while they just got a paycheck.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. And I have a kind of a counter view to that.
Yeah.
You can tell me what you think about that. But just in this instance, so Federico beat Ben Johns and, gosh, played Jay Delivier in the final, and it was not close. It was
Blowout.
It was a quick game.
And it wasn't because Jay played poorly.
No, Jay's great player, but honestly, from what I saw, Federico was just hitting shot after shot. It was tough.
I mean, it's funny. You see singles a lot. Singles is a game of runs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like sometimes you just play someone that just gets hot.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's really obnoxious. But that's singles. I've had it before. I've had it happen to me before. That's kind of just how singles goes. You know, sometimes you get hot against someone who's maybe a little better than you, but you know what? You pull it out because you just were hitting really good shots.
Yeah, and you could definitely, there's runs for sure. It's a game of runs in pickleball in general, in doubles, but singles even more so because you could hit, because you have to cover the whole court. You could hit one passing shot, 2 passing shots. I mean, it's just the rallies are shorter, so it seems like the runs are quicker.
Well, think about it this way, right? 4 passing shots and 2 missed returns. That's 6 points, and that's probably about what?
2 minutes.
Like,
yeah, you're right, or less.
That's like 18 shots.
Yeah,
24 shots. It's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, but real quick here. So yeah, Ben Johns lost, and then again, James. Shout out to James Ignatowicz. Okay, another Selkirk sponsored player. He played Jay closely, and so in this situation here, Federico has to play Jay in the final, which he did, and then Ben Johns is going to play James Ignatowicz in the bronze. But what we saw come to pass is Ben Johns just totally dropping out and basically handing James the medal.
Yeah.
So, so thoughts on that. Here's kind of my argument to your points there.
Go for it.
As Ben Johns is playing all 3 events and needs rest, and again, every single moment of rest, or he can, recover or whatever, counts. And again, kind of like the Riley thing that we talked about last week, he's going for gold. And
Yeah.
this does not make it, it does. I could see the point where it doesn't make it great. And again, I think we're going to see so many more of these dropouts. So it's going to be interesting what the PPA does.
Yeah.
But Ben Johns is going for gold.
Yeah.
And for him to play possibly a 3-game grinding match with Happy Feet James Ignatowicz is going to be, it could be a grind, and hey, he could hurt himself. I don't know. So I don't know. A little rebuttal on that, or what do you think?
I think you make a solid point there. I do. But I think
solid reset.
Yeah,
Okay.
fairly.
All right.
But there's there was a little bit of mishit in it, I would say. Personally, if you're gonna play, whether you win or whether you lose, my thing is you play until you're done.
Okay, I like that.
That's just me. That's just me.
No, I see it, bro. I got it.
I'm not gonna go to an event and then halfway through it go, yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna leave. No, I paid my money to be here. I'm gonna be here until I can't.
Well, that's the other thing, right? A lot of these pros are not paying their money; they're getting paid.
I get it.
So it's different a little bit.
And even for me, that's even more motivation.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for them.
Do it for them.
You know what I mean? But that's just me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's going to be really interesting. We're definitely going to kind of like keep up to date with, we'll call it the PPA dropouts. We'll call it the dropout crew.
Beauty school dropout.
So yeah, that was men's singles. Let's just hop right into women's singles.
Ooh,
we got.
You might want to press that upset button again, Jordan.
Upset alert. But not in the gold medal match. We got Annalie Waters for gold, Leah Jansen for silver, and bronze Salome. I think it's Salome. Davice, Salome, Salome. Someone comment for sure if you're 100% accurate.
You have to be 100%.
Yeah.
Right? Not like, hey, I think it's this. I heard it's this. We need confirmation here.
Yeah, we need confirmation.
Right.
But okay, so real quick, in kind of the third round, Mary Brachia defeats Catherine Peranto.
That's right.
So a little upset alert there. And again, really close game, but that was your kind of sleeper, or you picked her for bronze?
I picked her for bronze.
Picked her for bronze.
Yep. I had a feeling. Well, so I actually trained with Mary a little bit on Wednesday, right before Singles Day and right before my dad gave me food poisoning. But it was a lot of fun. And dude, I mean, there were shots that she was hitting that I was like, dude, I don't even see that out of men.
Yeah, I saw her play for the first time, watched a few points, and yeah, she looked solid.
Yeah.
You can tell the tennis background there.
Oh yeah.
She played Leah Jansen really
almost
close. Pulled
that one off.
Almost.
I was excited for her.
Yep. And then but she ended up losing to Salome. So it was a really good run. That is the women's singles results. No surprises there. Annalie Waters again.
Just dominant. Just dominant.
I mean, what are you going to say about that? Moving on to women's pro doubles. We got Anna Lee and Anna Bright. Anna squared for gold.
Yep. Filthy.
Silver, Jessie Irvin and Jackie Kawamoto. And bronze, Leah Jansen and Elise Jones. What matches did you see here, Kaden?
I actually got to watch Annalie and Anna play a little bit. And I mean, one thing to note is a lot of these partnerships are still new. You know what I mean?
Good take.
So I feel like,
Actually, all of them.
I mean, yeah, most of them.
All of them.
Most of them, except for like Lucy and Callie.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, most of these women's teams are, I mean, brand spanking new. And you know why? Because the Waters tore things up last year and nobody had an answer, right? And
Interesting.
now that Mama Waters is not there, there was a whole mix-up, whole shuffle. Because personally, I think Anna might be playing with like
Jesse
or with like with Paris. But I think that was before Paris decided not to play PPA.
Yeah, well, we could talk about that.
But I think like before Lee went down, I think, you know, Waters were the Waters, and then you kind of had like, I think there was supposed to be kind of like that second team with like Anna and Jesse, you know, but now there's just like a whole mix up. I mean, I've never seen so many different women's teams.
Yeah, so you're right.
There are.
Yeah, let's talk about, or let's just kind of see the bracket here. Kovalova Smith, obviously they're the number 2 seed. They dropped to Jessie Irvin and Jackie Kawamoto. Or is it Kawamoto?
Kawamoto.
Yeah, so just a solid team. Jessie's been a top player for a long time, but Jackie is stepping up. I mean, she's been a great player too, but I think this is...
Well, she has a sister too. She has a twin sister, Jade, but she didn't play.
But I don't know if Jackie's medaled at a PPA yet. This might be the first.
Am I right? Be the first. But I know I knew she's good. Yeah, she's really, really good.
Yeah, so that's what we saw there. And then Leia and Elise, they're just...
Oh, wait, Jade did play. Wait, scroll down. She played with Lauren Stratman.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my God. Jade and Jackie had to play each other first round. Wow, that's tough.
I saw that. I saw that in a Facebook post. So, yeah, shout out to Jackie and Jade Kawamoto.
That's wild.
Are they twins or no?
They're twins.
Oh, well, shout out to the twins.
Yeah. But I mean, look at these teams, man. Like, these are all new teams.
I wonder why they're not
Jade
playing.
and Lauren, new team. Jackie and Jesse, new team. Carolina and Julia. I actually talked about them after the PPA Desert Ridge. They're actually pretty good. Like,
really?
They took the Brasha sisters, the 3.
Wow, okay.
Georgia and Catherine, new team.
Yep.
Etta and Brooke, I think they played some last year, but fairly new team. Vivian David and Megan Fudge, new team. Angie Walker and Casey Rogers. I know Angie. I can't say I know Casey that well.
Yeah. But I wonder why the twins aren't playing with each other. I know they play with each other a little bit in APP, right? I thought
they played together pretty much all year.
So maybe they just wanted to mix things up.
Maybe Jackie just got asked by Jessie, and she was like, "Hey sis, I'm gonna go play with Jessie," and she was like, well, "I'm gonna go play too," and got Lauren Stratman.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is the results for the women's pro. Again, on the last, honestly, Leia. Oh no, sorry, Jessie Irvin and Jackie Kawamoto took Waters and Bright to 4 games.
Yeah.
So
they actually looked solid after game 2. I thought like, hey, like this could be one that goes to 5.
Yeah.
But I mean, adjustments, right? I mean, there's a reason why these top pros are doing what they're doing is like they not only have every skill in the book as far as paddle to hand, but like got the brains too.
Yeah. So chemistry is a big thing. Anna Lee Waters and Anna Bright, they're obviously two of you can say top 2 players in the game. So when they team up, it's already a force.
It's dangerous.
It's going to be interesting to see what these other teams do because I just think chemistry needs to be built. Like, again, I think one of the most exciting teams here is Elise and Leia. I mean, they're just exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Super, Elise is super scrappy, and we'll just we'll just have to see.
Yeah. Well, one thing we talked about like last episode was, paddles. Right. And like Callie and Lucy both have new paddles. So maybe they're, taking a little bit to figure it out. And who knows, maybe my bronze medal prediction for Lucy and Callie will eventually hit.
Maybe. And then lastly, we're just going to look at the mixed pro again. And then hometown hero, let's give it up for Riley Newman.
Bang! Let's go.
Riley,
Congrats, my dude.
Congrats, and I'm sorry that I picked you for silver in this tournament.
Hey, you know what? I picked him for gold. Let's go.
I know.
You guys like that? Yeah, let's go.
All right, Caden got a point there. Caden got a point. So yeah, Riley Newman, Anna Bright, they were solid all the way through. They got gold. Georgia Johnson, JW, silver, who upset the Triple Crown winners, Ben Johnson and Annalie Waters. And then bronze, shout out to Thomas Wilson and Vivian David.
Yep. Second bronze of the year.
They're a great mixed team.
They are a great mixed team, man. I love Thomas. I love Thomas and I love Vivian. And it just makes me really happy. I honestly hope, I mean, obviously, dude, the mixed field is just ridiculous.
Oh, it's tough.
It's just ridiculous.
It is.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. But that being said, I hope they pull out some silvers and some golds, man. I mean, I really hope they can.
Yeah, and let's just quickly just look at, again,
a 3 versus 8 seed in this gold medal match. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, you don't always see that.
Yeah, so again, Anna Bright, Riley Newman, they played Georgia and JW in the final. I mean, look at this stat line. We got 8-11, 11-7, 9-11, 11-5, 11-4. I mean, took them to the edge.
Yeah.
Took them to the edge of the cliff.
Yep.
And just, you know what? Yeah, kudos to both teams. But Riley was on fire. Anna played great.
Mm-hmm. Riley's whole family was there. So if he lost that match, he would have...
He had some support. Oh, shout out to Uncle Riley. I saw Uncle Riley sign. Yep. I think his nephews were there or something.
Nephews, nieces. Brothers, sisters, nieces.
Yeah.
You name it, man. The whole crew was there, and it was a pretty cool thing to watch, actually.
Yeah, so shout out to Riley. I know he's probably been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Yeah.
Because, sure. Well, I think everyone has been. I
think everyone has been waiting for this.
Well, trying to take down Annalie and Ben.
Yeah.
But they didn't even have to do it in this.
No, they didn't even have to do it. They kind of got, the nice way out of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Johnsons challenged them for sure.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you said, it was on the edge. I mean, once you lose that second match, 11-9.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine what's going through Riley's mind? What is he thinking? I want to know.
Yeah. So again, we'll have to see how things pan out, but maybe we have a new rivalry brewing.
I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. So again, that was the results from the PPA Carvana Arizona Grand Slam. And now, Caden's favorite topic, DUPR ratings.
Oh, yeah. I love DUPR ratings.
So if you don't know what DUPR is, it is the Dynamic Universal Personal Player Ratings. Right?
I thought it was pickleball, but
okay. Pickleball rating. Yeah, right. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, so DUPR, they came on the scene about, 2-3 years ago?
During COVID.
Okay, during COVID.
Yeah.
Another COVID company, we can call that.
Yeah.
But they came on, and honestly, I think they really have
changed the game for sure.
Changed the game and ratings. There was tournament ratings before, but it wasn't really accurate. I mean, as we stand right now, I think DUPR is the most accurate. Obviously, there's some inconsistencies here and there.
I would say there's some inconsistencies here and there as well. Yes.
Yeah, we're about to see that. Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to talk about DUPR ratings versus like club ratings. A lot of players that may be listening to this or watching this, you don't know what your rating is. And I get that all the time. So maybe you haven't played tournaments. Maybe you have, but maybe you could sign up for DUPR and you could actually put in practice games and kind of see how you fare with other players with actual ratings. But we're going to pull this up because Caden is so interested to find out his DUPR rating here.
I'm really excited.
Let's
oh, look at that.
Let's talk about this. And for those of you watching, I mean, 5.5 doubles and 5.61 singles. That's pretty good, Caden. Why are you so frustrated about that?
Let's put it this way. My DUPR rating was above a 6 like 1 week ago.
Not in both though, right?
My doubles rating was a 5.8 and my singles was a 6.2.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, here's the thing. No hate to DUPR. No hate to DUPR at all.
No shade, just
But
a little mist.
one thing I notice is, this DUPR rating is supposed to be kind of always moving. You know what I mean? Because
So has it been for you? Have you seen it every tournament? Have you seen it change, fluctuate?
a little bit. But you know what I've noticed?
What?
It always goes down.
Okay. But
It always goes down.
yeah. Well, you got to win more. Maybe if you're winning more matches or going deeper in a draw, or what do you think?
Here's the thing is DUPR also makes a name off of themselves for saying, like, even if you were to lose against someone that has a better rating than you,
Yeah, then your
your rating should still go
stay.
up,
Yeah.
right?
Or stay.
Or stay at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And so I'll be honest, I've had bad losses where, and like, also like, I think there are guys who are playing pro events now who are, truly pros. I mean, you look at Christian Alshon, his rating on UTPR is like a 4.0.
Yeah.
But you look at his DUPR and it's like a 6 point something.
Yeah. Well, we're not going by UPR anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, it's the same thing that goes for DUPR, where there are guys who have like 5.3 ratings because, what the heck, why not?
Yeah.
And then, but like truly they're probably more like 6.0, 6.1s, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a hard thing, especially for like high level professional tennis players or whatever coming in the sport.
Right.
They're going to have 0 rating, but when they start to go in, and then you may get beat by one of them. Let's say like Federico or somebody just came in, you get slaughtered by that guy.
Right.
And then he had 0 rating or he had a low rating, and now
you guys are basically trading ratings.
Yeah, so obviously there is some very advanced algorithms that has to happen, but
The only thing that's confusing to me is like you said, like I said, losses where it's tight and it's close, right? Because like you said, there's an algorithm, right? So there's percentages of what the matches and what the scores should look like, right? So for me, like, I think the biggest thing I was confused about was last year I was playing LA Open and I was playing against Rafa Hewitt and Chuck Taylor with Rob Cassidy.
shout out to Rafa, Rob,
That's right.
and Chuck.
That's right. All three of them, great dudes.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Rafa's DUPR is, I believe, like a 6.3, 6.4.
Solid.
Yep. I think Chuck's is like a 6.2 or a 6.3.
Solid again.
I think Rob's is like a 6.2 or 6.3.
Solid.
Now you look at mine and you
Did you
think,
guys win that one?
no, but I'll tell you what. We lost 17-15, 12-10,
Ooh. Oh,
Right.
that's a dang, man.
right? That's a
close
match
match.
that, like, if I'm winning, I'm probably going, oh, what's my DUPR after today?
And
You
then
know?
it dropped.
And somehow, some way, I look at it.
Did it drop? No way.
It didn't drop, but
Okay.
it didn't do
That's it.
anything.
Okay.
So I'm like, hold on a second. Like looking at my DUPR right now, I would love to see some of those points right about now.
DUPR, DUPR, shout out to us. Send us an email.
Yeah, let us know.
I like to have you sitting in the seat so that we can ask you how the algorithm works.
Yeah.
But yeah, can't win them all. Can't win 'em all.
You can't. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's just a rating system, guys.
It's just a
It's just a rating system. Don't let this define who you are.
Don't let this define you, but we're going to quickly hop to mine.
Oh my God. This guy's played one tournament in 4 years.
We're going to quickly hop into mine. Doubles 5.77, singles 6.37. Mine dropped a little bit too. I just want you to know because I haven't played some tournaments in the past.
Oh gosh. Jordan, I'm so sorry.
The past 6 months.
That must be so hard on you.
Okay. What I got to say though, I will... There's some asterisks on here because I haven't played enough, okay? I haven't played enough tournaments. I just played 2 tournaments last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, that's why the asterisks are on there. But I just thought that was hilarious because Caden's over here struggling. So
I think it's hilarious too, Jordan. So freaking funny.
man. Okay, so now, speaking of DUPR and versus club ratings, because a lot of our listeners out there, they're not sure what level they are.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you get this all the time. Like, players are asking you like,
oh, yeah. What do you think my rating is?
yeah, what would you suggest for, I don't know, what would you suggest for those people? And how do ratings differ when we're talking about different states and things like that?
No, I think, well, it's tricky, right? So as a coach, when people are asking me what they think or what I would think their rating would be, I'm looking for a series of things, which is why I love DUPR and I don't love DUPR for rating someone, right? So if I'm trying to rate someone, you got to look at a bunch of different things, not just the score of games, right? Because everyone could have a bad game. I'm looking for technique, right? Yeah. I'm looking for how you play the game of pickleball, your knowledge of pickleball.
Yeah.
And kind of deciding off of that. And even, I would say, I could be able to tell what someone's level is probably within the first 5 to 10 minutes of them playing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, DUPR is great because it gives you a rating that you can use for club, you can use for tournaments, you can use for anything, right? You can go to a different state and say, oh, hey, this is my DUPR.
Yes.
This is where I belong. I'm playing
Sign me up for that league.
Exactly. Sign me up for that challenge court right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that also being said, a self-rating and a tournament rating is very different.
Yeah.
Right? I've encountered a ton of people who say they are 5.0 and above plus players from
Yugoslavia.
Yep. Yep, exactly.
And Cambodia.
And Cambodia. And you got one more?
Ethiopia.
What about Zootopia?
Yeah, Zootopia. Yeah, and they're usually a little bit lower. I mean, it really just depends on, again, the bigger the population of pickleball in that state, usually, you have more, you come from Alabama. No shade to Alabama.
Rafa's from Alabama.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Rafa. But
he lives there now, but
you some state like that where I don't think pickleball is as big. Well, you compare it to somewhere like Arizona or Florida.
Right.
You're going to get some different things. But yeah, I would, a way that you can test your skills or see where you're at is enter a local tournament.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, we're going to hop in to a segment for all of you. Maybe you haven't played a tournament yet, or maybe you have and you just want some tournament tips.
Yeah.
I've probably played maybe 20, 30, 40, over 50 tournaments. Kaden, you're probably way higher than that.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's because you play a lot. So again, for the first time player that is just getting into the game, they want some, they don't know what to expect.
Yep.
Going into a tournament. I remember my first one.
I do too.
And maybe we can talk about that briefly. But what are some things that players, you can just give them some advice. If let's say they haven't played a tournament before, what would you say?
If you want my honesty, everybody, for your first tournament, don't play with a loved one. Don't play with a family member. Don't play with a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
It sounds like you have experience with this, kid and Hema.
I do.
You know what? I played my first 3 tournaments with my dad.
How was that?
It was okay.
See, I told you.
No, not that. No, it was fine. Again,
okay.
My first tournament, I entered 5-0.
Yeah.
And I played with my dad. Obviously, we got beat. And yeah. I mean, it was good. I don't think
You played 5-0 with your dad?
Yeah.
Straight off the bat?
Yeah, straight off the bat. Because we just thought we can do it. And we didn't do terrible, but we lost.
Like 2 and out lost?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, first, yeah. I mean, we even played the likes of Steve Wong. I don't know.
Oh,
if you
living legend, Steve Wong?
Shout out to Armor Pickleball.
Wow.
There you go, Steve. And then in the second or third tournament, we played Kyle Yates and Aspen Kern.
Oh,
wow. And we did, yeah. So other legends.
Just one of the goats of pickleball.
Yeah. So, we fared pretty well. It was close. I mean, our DUPR rating would have stayed the same.
You think so?
Yeah. If it existed back then.
What do you remember the scores?
I don't know, maybe 4 and 6. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, your DUPR would have stayed the same.
Yeah,
Maybe a little rise, but I mean that's
Yeah.
that's about what the algorithm
Yeah.
I think would have your scores at.
Okay. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, so I played with my dad the first, 3 to 5 tournaments or so, and then obviously I had, I was looking for a younger partner for speed and things like that. And my dad eventually found someone. But that's how we started. Why wouldn't you recommend playing with a loved one? Jaden? What was it with your dad?
Yeah.
Oh my.
So the first tournament I ever played, actually, it was
good.
in Montana.
Oh, Montana. So this is where, ratings are a little jacked over there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I would say. So we played 4-5 in this Montana tournament.
So really like 4-0.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the guys who we played in the gold medal match were actually like 4-5s. They were actually pretty good.
Okay.
But basically, I was a young kid at the time. I was probably 17 years old, 16 years old, maybe.
Yeah. This is after your 4-5 win with Anna Lee.
No, this was way before.
Oh, so you were still a young buckaroo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely 16. I was
Okay.
definitely 16. First tournament, because I remember my second tournament was nationals, and then my third tournament was your tournament with Annalie.
Okay.
But my first tournament, we went to this Montana tournament. I was young,
Yeah.
so of course everyone saw me on the court and said, "Okay, we're gonna pick on the young kid because he's probably a little insecure. He's probably not as consistent as the dad. He's probably not as strong as the dad."
Yeah.
And little did they know,
Oh, little did they know.
that's right, I gave everyone the beat down.
Yeah,
that day.
don't pick on the little guy.
No, bad idea. All right.
So did they start going after your dad after a while?
So in the gold medal match, they started at me. They came right to me, and I said, again, bad idea. And I ate them up the first game.
You said, I've been drilling. I've been following that Briones Pickleball
I
YouTube
said,
channel.
do you know who Briones is? Jordan Briones is? Yeah, that's actually my god brother.
Pickleball godbrother.
That's right. You
There you
pickleball
go.
god brother. Yeah. And so we messed him up the first game.
Okay.
And the second game, their adjustment was keep it away from the little guy, go to the old man on the other side.
And strategy-wise, let's just talk about strategy for a second.
Yeah.
That's a good adjustment.
That,
If someone's beating you, just a really quick tip. Stop going to them.
yeah, that's probably a good idea.
And it works for the majority of the
It
time.
does. It really does. Now, they went to my dad, and my dad fumbled the bag so hard.
Oh, no. We're going to hear it from your dad
He-
after this podcast here.
I will fly that man out here to admit that. But he fumbled so hard. He choked so hard. It was so embarrassing.
So just like thirds, were they speeding up or just
Thirds, dinks, serves,
God,
returns,
he cannot
you
hit a-
name it. The guy looked like a beginner out there.
Oh, man.
And full on embarrassed me and took away my first gold medal in my first tournament. And let's put it this way, I did not talk to him for the entire car ride home when we drove home.
Okay, so this was Caden's first experience. Mind you, he's young. Okay, he's young.
All the emotions were there. It's just
Yeah, so I don't know if I would totally agree with your tip there. You know what? If you do have a loved one that you love and you play pickleball with, sure, play with them. But it does have its challenges.
it does.
does have
All the
its
emotions of loved ones is on the court.
It's because you know them on another level.
Exactly. But
So-
what I'm trying to say is, like, if we were dating Jordan, hypothetically,
Okay, that'd be weird.
I know. And if we were, let's say I was mad at you for not,
Yeah.
doing the laundry,
Yeah.
and then we go play pickleball later, I'm probably going to be pissed off at you the whole time, every time you make a mistake,
Yeah,
because I'm actually pissed off about the laundry.
Because you missed 2 drops in the third game and you didn't do the laundry now.
Well, right. Exactly. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Like, that's like breakup material right there.
Yeah. So if you're playing with your loved ones, just go in there and you know what? First tournament tip, very simple one.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah.
And then number 2,
And then number 2 is don't play with a loved one.
number 3 would be Don't set super high expectations for yourself.
true.
Just
Yeah.
go out there, have fun, and just enjoy the experience. Okay, but let's get to some actual practical tips now. What I would say, I have a few. Number 4, plan for a long day.
Yeah.
Number 4, plan for a long day. That includes, make sure you have enough hydration. Make sure you have enough snacks. Again, if you do end up winning some matches, there's so much time in between.
It's true.
The bigger the tournament is, usually the more time you may have in between. So, again, pickleball is a little interesting. It's a little bit different than other tournaments because you have double elimination. I mean, obviously,
Right.
We're not talking about PPA here, pro. It's amateur level.
There's still double elimination.
There's a back draw. So have fun, but also prepare for a long day. Any thoughts on that, Kaden?
I think that's perfectly said, right? I think when you go into a tournament, you should never have the expectation that you're going to go out there and win, right? Or even if you're going out there and you're playing to win and not to actually have fun, it takes away all the fun from it.
Yeah.
So like I'm very tough on myself, so when I go out and play, I take it very seriously, but like I realize like if I'm not having fun and I'm not enjoying myself out there, then there's really no point, right? If you guys aren't having fun playing tournaments, then just play rec play.
But like,
It's not for everyone. Yeah. But that being said, like that doesn't mean just because you're entering a tournament that you shouldn't be enjoying yourself.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, when you're playing in your first tournament, I guarantee you're not signing up for a pro event your first time, which means the best thing that you can win is a medal.
Yeah.
All right. Now from there, if your goal is just to win that medal, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go out there, have fun.
Yeah. It's about progress in this sport. We've both been through it. Losses, wins.
Yeah, I've done it all.
It's actually difficult, especially if you're super competitive out there, to only focus on wins.
Yeah.
But again, we learn, we live and we learn. So really good, Kaden. Other tournament tips I could think of. Can you think of any others?
I would say always bring extra layers of clothes.
Yeah, that's actually very good. And maybe extra shoes.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt.
Mm-hmm. And towels. That's another thing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Towels. Like I actually have forgotten that multiple times.
Oh, so have I.
And then you're ending up rubbing your shirt.
Correct.
And then you only have one shirt.
Well, a sweaty shirt and sweat on your face, if you add those two together, the combination creates acne.
Okay. Especially if you're like 16, 17 out there. If you're a listener and you're 16 and 17, make sure you don't rub your face on a sweaty shirt. Okay?
Yep. It's also just not great for your face. Dirt, sunblock, all of it. Once you rub it together, it's just bad for your skin. And I learned that from my mother. So thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Mom. All right. Now we're just going to hop into another segment. Kind of going back. We're making a U-turn. All right. Little roundabout coming back. Going back to the PPA and some of the players in the pro scene. Now, what I do want to mention is these players are playing with money on the line.
Yeah.
Okay. This is their living. And there's been a lot of talks and debates about certain players' antics on the court. Some players are very, very quiet and players won't bat an eye to them.
Mm-hmm.
The likes of J.W. Johnson.
Yep.
Dylan
Mute.
Frazier.
Mute.
Mute. But players that don't have a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
Even Ben Johns out there is a very, like, he will only get worked up if it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I think even Ben is a quiet.
He's a
quiet cat. You know what I mean?
He's a quiet killer.
But like I think when you see the emotion, it's more of kind of like I don't want to make this sound bad, but it's more of a show than it is genuine. Like, ooh, yeah, you know what I mean? I think so. I
think it just it pulls them to a point to get fired up, and then once he does, you better watch out.
Really?
That's what I mean.
Because the first few years of me like seeing Ben play, like he was completely quiet. But once he became kind of like the pickleball face, I think he had to like kind of spice things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe put a little bit of pumpkin in his chais. I don't know.
And honestly, and then let's go to the flip side of some players that really like to get amped up. We call it amped. The likes of Riley Newman.
Oh yeah.
Matt Wright. And there are some fiery,
even more fiery
women on the tour too.
Oh yeah. I would say most of the women are pretty fiery.
I mean,
you know,
Leia's up there.
Leia, Elise, Anna Lee, Jessie.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. We need that in the game. Sometimes though, there are comments and we hear things. Let's just, shout out to Julian Arnold.
Oh, Mr. Andiamo?
Mr. Andiamo. So there was a match that was played this weekend. The Johns versus Andiamo himself and
Thomas Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah. I still like that team.
Why don't we just break down a little bit of what happened there?
I'd love to.
Go ahead. So you were there.
I was.
So why don't the actual moments of events? Why don't we go over that?
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is Julian is never actually allowed to be a jerk, which is why I absolutely love what he does. Right, and I think.
Well, what I would say is he's always loud to everybody.
Yeah.
That's right. What I would say.
He's not pointing anyone out.
He doesn't discriminate.
No, he's done it against me before, and I don't take it personally because guess what? At the end of the day, it's a sport. You got to get yourself hyped up, fired up. I do it myself, maybe not as loud as Julian, but it's a tactic that works. You know what I mean? It's true. You play better when you're fired up and feeling good.
Well, shout out to Tyson McGuffin. I totally forgot about you.
The manimal himself.
The barker. They call him,
There's dog in that man.
There's dog in that man.
It's not a heart. It's a dog.
Yeah. But again, as a player, when you're developing your skills, and even if you haven't had, I would suggest this. If you have been competitive in other sports, bring that over.
Yeah.
If you haven't been, then you got to find out what kind of like works for you. Because you may be on the quieter side and internally, like, let me focus more, whatever. Or you might be a Julian Arnold or Tyson McGuffin, and you just need to like let it out.
Yeah.
So but let's talk about what ensued there. What happened?
So I mean, first game was fairly close, I would say. And of course, Julian, being Julian, is when he hits a good shot. When he hits a good shot, he will scream in your face.
Real quick, is that Italian? Right? You don't know? Andiamo? It's Italian, I'm pretty sure. We'll have to look that up. Caden does not know. I don't know why he doesn't know this.
I don't.
Okay, go ahead. So what happened?
But basically, Colin, I'm sure, doesn't love all that noise, especially with Colin being the quiet man that he is. And
actually, Colin gets more fired up than Ben. Would you agree?
Actually,
yeah,
I would.
Yeah,
I would. But that being said, I mean, if you know Colin off the court, he's not the most interactive person unless he knows you pretty well, But that being said, I think it got to a point where in the second game, Julian and Thomas were down, and in the middle of a point, or actually right after a point where Julian won and screamed Andiamo in his face, Colin got a forehand that he tried to punish Julian on, and he knew he hit it well, but it tipped the top of the net, and he, as it tipped the net, he went, "Why?" All right. Now, in pickleball, that would be considered a hindrance. All right. Now, I couldn't really tell how loud Colin had said it, but that being said, it did distract Julian, and he immediately kind of stopped the point.
Yeah, so just for the viewers out there, there was a pop-up for Colin.
Yeah.
And then he said, it wasn't a pop-up, it was a speed-up.
It was a speed up that he just
And
killed.
then he said, "Por qué?"
He did.
He said, "Why?" Mm-hmm. And then he
hit the ball and it tipped the net. And he goes, "Why?" And that's because he was upset that it hit the net. Because he literally,
No. I thought he said why because I'm reading it. I think it was that dude.
Really?
Yeah, I think he was like, why?
Oh, really? Because he said why after it hit the net.
Okay.
And then so that's why, like, when he was hitting, he was like, dude, why are you talking when I'm swinging?
Yeah. So anyways, Colin John said that during the swing.
Yeah.
His swing, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, they didn't like that.
Nope. Julian obviously appealed to the ref. The ref, of course, didn't hear a thing.
Well, that's honestly for the ref, I don't know.
Call.
It's
That's a
tough.
tough
I mean,
call.
you're watching foot faults.
Right.
Shout out to every ref at the PPA.
No, refs, you guys do great work.
Let's give some refs some love right now.
I have one ref that I'd specifically like to shout out.
Oh, who would that be, Kaden?
Her name is Leslie Shaughnessy.
Okay. Shout out
Squirrel.
Shout out to Leslie. But again, seriously, refs, underpaid, undervalued, but we need them. We need them.
They honestly, they do good work.
Yeah. So that was not called, and then it got a little bit dicey.
Yep.
I think there was a forehand that went to the net or a little long by Colin Johns, and then Julian Arnold said something to the tune of maybe you better work on that or something.
Yeah. Yep. That's about right. I mean,
which is true. I mean, if you're missing it, which is true, I guess.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he definitely meant it with some shade. Yeah. I would say that in that situation, the comment is not necessarily needed, but he wasn't wrong.
Not needed, but
he was not wrong.
It was brought out. Oh, did you see the end of that match?
Yes. I love how that match ended.
No. Did you see the end of after the paddle taps? Or you don't know?
Oh, yeah. I saw it.
Did we see a little?
It looked something like this.
Goodbye kisses?
Went like this, and he went.
Oh no! It was a shh.
Shut that mouth of yours.
Yeah. So obviously the pro scene, we see some dicey stuff. Okay, but again,
hey, sports are all about trash talk, man.
Sports,
who gets the last laugh?
It is really, people are doing it. Money's on the line. It gets intense in there. Yeah. And again, mental game, head game. Now, I would not recommend this in amateur levels, by the way. Not really.
No, you don't need to do it quite yet.
I mean, if you do,
back it up.
I'm just letting you know that a lot of people don't like that. It's just,
no.
So what would you say though, Kaden, about like, do you think it's good for like players like Julian that push the envelope and get really loud? Do you think is there a fine line? This was my question here, between good sportsmanship and being fiery. Where's the line?
I think as long as you're not pointing anyone out and calling anyone names for any particular reason, I think you're fine. You know what I mean? If you're using a tactic to get yourself fired up, I think it's fine, right? I mean, you look at Jeff Warnick, right? A guy who was probably one of the top names in pickleball in like 2020 and 2021.
Oh, he was original.
He was like the original.
He was the OG.
Loud, obnoxious guy on the court, and it wasn't like a.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like a. That for me is like the difference between hyping yourself up and just being obnoxious to get in someone's head.
Oh, wait, so you think Jeff was that or was not that?
I think Jeff was that. Now, I love Jeff, and it's not something that bothers me, but it definitely bugs people.
Shout out to Jeff Warnick, by the way. I think I played a tournament with him.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What?
I think my tournament. We didn't do that great.
Really? Oh, I remember that.
We did okay. But anyways,
I played you.
I don't remember now.
I played with Rich.
Did we beat you guys?
Yeah, you guys beat us like 15-4.
Okay. But shout out to Jeff Warner. You know what? The one thing about Jeff, this is what I could say. And for all the viewers out there, because now there's maybe millions of players watching these matches. But like, if you're gonna be loud and stuff, one thing I know about Jeff is he's at the end of the match.
Oh yeah, it's all fun.
It's all fun and games. So like,
yeah, it's nothing personal.
I think people can see that though.
Yeah, for sure.
Like again, if for the pros out there, if you're gonna be really loud, really whatever, there is a line between attacking people and good sportsmanship.
For sure.
So,
for sure.
So I think you're right on the money.
Yeah, I think as long as you're not, single-handedly targeting someone out and, calling them names or, saying things to degrade someone, I think you're fine, But if you're looking at yourself and calling yourself, bad words just to get yourself fired up, I think you get at the end of the day, that's how you get yourself fired up. Do it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that we have a limited time today. We actually have a very, very special guest.
Whoa.
Going to come in for the next episode. So do not miss out. But we're going to actually cut this podcast a little short today. For those of you, again, listening, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please do that on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure that you leave us a nice review.
Be kind.
Yeah, be kind.
You don't have to, but I mean, we would love it.
Yeah, we would love that. And again, any closing thoughts, Caden, that you would like to say to anyone here?
Guys, I just hope that you guys remember to use your footwork and be nice on the court. Pump yourself up, pump your partners up. Be good partners.
Hey.
Be good partners, guys.
Next episode, maybe we'll talk about we'll talk about what it's like or what it looks like to be a good partner.
Yes.
Positing, encouraging, that goes a long way.
It does. It does. People would rather play with you if you're positive than if you're really, really good. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. So again, thanks for joining us in this podcast. For any future segments or things that you'd like us to talk about, if you'd like us to break down some professional matches,
that'd be cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah, men's, women's, mix, singles, or if you like some other fun segments, why don't you send us a comment? Just leave us a comment. Oh, and lastly, let's not forget, let's just do a little, what do we call it? A secret selfie.
Oh, secret selfie with Caden Nemeth.
Secret selfie with Caden Nemeth. We will pull it up on the screen here.
Yep.
This is last segment.
This is
and then let's kind of see if you guys recognize the pro. We're gonna see name the pro.
Yeah, go ahead. If you guys can name the pro. Oh, wow, 2 stunners.
Okay, so we got upset winner J.W. Johnson. What is he looking at right here? Or what did you tell him, Caden? Like, what's happening in this picture right now?
I actually didn't tell him anything. I just took my phone and took a picture of us.
That's funny.
We were just talking, and then I pulled out my phone, and then while he was looking at his phone,
shoot.
I just took a picture of us because I thought.
Is this before or after the upset?
This was
before, huh?
Way beforehand, yes.
Okay.
But as you can see, my patchy facial hair is growing in real nice. Obviously, I'm a little more clean shaven today.
Yeah, really nice.
But in the tournament, as you can tell, a little sweaty. Got some sunblock on the face. My hat should probably be washed, but you know what? Game hats are meant to get sweaty anyway. Both of our lips are a little chapped. Definitely could use some Aquaphor, so I'll make sure my little brother is on that one next time.
Yeah.
And of course, JW's double chin. I would say that is easily his best feature. So, don't hate, appreciate.
Dude,
that's one thing I love about JW.
J-Dub in Georgia. We'd love to have you on the pod soon.
Yeah. Also, JW's hair is just
I gotta say,
beautiful.
The most funniest interviews, I think, are J.W. Johnson's post-match interviews.
You want to pretend like you're interviewing me and I'm JW?
Okay. J.W., that was amazing. I mean, those resets counters, you just beat the number 1 seed that everyone just thought that they would just be undefeated all year round. So JW, like, how did you do it? Like, how did you feel out there?
Personally, we just went out there and tried really hard. And my sister played great. And, thanks to my mom for feeding me this morning and making sure I had clean clothes to wear today, because otherwise I'd be really stinky.
Okay, so JW, yeah. So again, it was really, really tight there in the fifth match, the fifth game, and you were just battling out. I mean, what are some emotions? I mean, let me get something out of you. Like, how did it feel out there?
Yeah, a lot of emotions. As you can tell, I'm really happy right now, and I'm definitely gonna celebrate this weekend.
Good. Your winners, Georgia and JW Johnson. All right, Caden, that was a pretty good read.
Thank you.
Dude, that was not planned, but that was actually really good.
No.
Dude, JW is gonna hop on here on this podcast someday, and I'm gonna revitalize some energy in him.
Okay, you think so?
I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I'll give him the beat down. Make sure he's energized and ready to go. I'm stronger than that kid, just so you know.
Yeah. All right. So again, thanks for everyone watching. Everyone, make sure that you follow us, and we will see you on the next episode.
Peace out.